April 15th, 2026. Denpasar. 100 officers assemble in a public field. Their target, foreigners working illegally on the island of Bali. 3 weeks later, 62 people detained. Their crime, working on a tourist visa. This is Dharma Dewata, Bali's new immigration task force, and it is not a warning shot, it's already firing. In 2025 alone, 331 people got deported from a single airport office. This year, immigration is checking LinkedIn, checking co-working check-ins, checking Instagram geotags. If you're a digital nomad posting "working from paradise," they can see it too. Patrols now hit the exact neighborhoods every nomad guide recommends: Canggu, Ubud, Seminyak, Karabokan, Uluwatu. The places that built Bali's reputation online are the same places now getting watched the closest. So you want to live in Bali? Let's talk about what that actually costs now, not the fantasy version, the real one. Here's the split that matters most. There's a legal way to do this. There's an illegal way, and in 2026, ignoring that gap just got a lot more dangerous. The legal way, the E33G visa, officially the second home remote worker visa, launched in 2024. The requirement, $60,000 a year, minimum, from an employer or clients outside Indonesia. The cost, $600 to $700 if you file it yourself, $1,100 to $1,600 with an agent. The term, 1 year, renewable. Come and go freely while it's active. Here's the part people miss. Indonesia doesn't care where your paycheck comes from. It cares where your body is. Open a laptop in Bali without the right visa, and you're working illegally, even if every client you serve is on the other side of the planet. The illegal way, show up on a tourist visa, work anyway. For years, everyone did it. Nobody enforced it. That era is over. Overstay fines, 1 million rupiah a day, about $63, up to 60 days. After that, detention, deportation. A re-entry ban, 6 months, 2 years, sometimes a full decade. Worst cases, a lifetime ban. There's a third option too, the second home visa, 5 to 10 years of residency, but it requires proof of roughly $132,900 in savings, pricing it well beyond most working nomads. So 3 paths, 1 legal and accessible, 1 legal but expensive, 1 illegal and, as of 2026, genuinely risky. Now let's talk about what it actually costs to live here, because Bali's reputation and Bali's reality have started to genuinely diverge. Budget lifestyle, about $1,500 a month. Shared housing, local warungs, cafe-based work. Premium lifestyle, $3,500 or more. Private pool villa, Western dining. The biggest swing factor, food. Warungs, run $250 a month. Western restaurants in Canggu, $700 or more. Same month, same person. Completely different number. Transportation. A scooter runs $65 to $100 a month, the standard way most people get around. Ride-hailing apps like Gojek and Grab cover the rest, at a higher per-ride cost. And here's the number that should stop you. A basic Canggu villa that rented for $400 a month in 2019 now runs $700 to $900 or more. That's a 75 to 100% jump in under 7 years. Here's the part almost nobody mentions in the Move to Bali content. Prices have risen dramatically. Canggu specifically has shifted from what locals used to call a cheap paradise for broke freelancers into what one 2026 guide bluntly calls a premium lifestyle destination for serious remote professionals. The backpacker budget version of Bali that built its reputation online largely doesn't exist in Canggu anymore. Taxes add another layer worth understanding precisely. Stay under 183 days in a calendar year, and you're classified as a non-resident, paying 0 Indonesian tax on foreign-sourced income. Cross that 183-day threshold, and you become a tax resident, facing a flat 20% rate on that same foreign income. Many nomads structure their entire year specifically around staying just under that line. A genuinely different kind of tax planning than anything else in this series, built around days on the ground rather than income brackets or property thresholds. The weak rupiah actually works in foreign earners' favor here, similar to the yen story in Tokyo. Sitting around 18,000 to the dollar, it stretches a US or European salary further with every passing year of currency weakness. Location changes everything here too. Canggu offers the largest nomad community and the highest concentration of co-working spaces, but also the worst traffic, especially along Jalan Batu Bolong and Jalan Pantai Barawa between 4 and 7 p.m., and the highest costs on the island. Ubud attracts a quieter, more focused crowd. Cooler temperatures, rice terrace views, slower internet, lower prices, and a wellness culture built around yoga studios and health food that draws a different type of nomad entirely than Canggu's more social, surf and co-working scene. Uluwatu has grown into a base for surfers and couples wanting clifftop quiet with occasional social access, sitting somewhere between Canggu's density and Ubud's calm. Each one is genuinely a different version of Bali, and picking the wrong one for your actual lifestyle is one of the most common regrets nomads report after their first few months. Here's what almost nobody puts in the relocation guides. Immigration enforcement now actively monitors social media for exactly the content that made Bali famous as a nomad destination in the first place. A working from my villa Instagram post, a LinkedIn check-in at a Canggu co-working space, even unpaid promotional content from influencers, all of it can trigger scrutiny. The same online visibility that built Bali's nomad reputation is now a genuine liability if your visa status doesn't match what you're posting. Healthcare and banking add their own real friction that rarely makes it into the highlight reel version of Bali life. Local Indonesian health insurance, called BPJS, is available but often comes with limited English language support and variable quality outside the main hospitals in Denpasar. Most nomads instead carry private international health insurance, typically running $50 to $150 a month, depending on coverage level and age. Banking has also tightened meaningfully. Indonesian banks increasingly require proof of a valid, work-permitting visa like the E33G before opening a full local account, which means many nomads on shorter-term visas end up relying entirely on international transfer services and foreign cards, incurring real currency conversion fees on every purchase. Property ownership carries its own significant catch-worth understanding before anyone gets attached to a specific villa. Foreigners cannot directly own freehold land in Indonesia. The common workarounds, a long-term leasehold agreement, typically running 25 to 30 years, or a nominee structure using an Indonesian citizen's name, each carry real legal risk. Nominee arrangements specifically have led to genuine, well-documented disputes when the relationship between foreign investor and local nominee sours. Anyone considering buying rather than renting in Bali needs specialized Indonesian legal counsel before signing anything, since the property law here works nothing like the straightforward ownership most Western buyers assume going in. A couple of quick myths worth busting. No, getting caught doesn't just mean a fine and a slap on the wrist. Deportation and a multi-year re-entry ban are the standard outcome, not a worst-case scenario. And no, the E33G visa isn't available to just anyone who wants to try Bali for a year. The $60,000 income requirement genuinely filters out a large share of the budget nomads the island became famous for attracting in the first place. Let's run the real math. A remote worker earning $60,000 a year, right at the E33G threshold, living a mid-range lifestyle in Ubud, around $1,800 to $2,200 a month, keeps their income entirely untaxed by Indonesia as long as they stay under 183 days, or pays a flat 20% if they settle in for the full year and cross that line. Compare that to a similar earner illegally working on a tourist visa in Canggu. Same lifestyle, same income, but carrying constant deportation risk and zero legal protection if a landlord, an employer, or an ex-roommate ever reports them. Now picture someone with real capital looking to buy rather than rent. A 25-year leasehold on a Canggu villa might run $200,000 to $400,000 up front, depending on size and location, with no freehold ownership at the end of it, and a genuine legal dependency on whichever leasehold or nominee structure they chose at the outset, holding up for the full quarter-century term. So, does living in Bali actually work economically? For anyone willing to get the E33G and structure their year around the 183-day rule, the answer is genuinely yes. A legitimate, tax-efficient base with a real cost of living advantage over Western cities, even after the price increases of the last few years. For anyone still trying to run the old playbook, tourist visa, quiet work, hope nobody notices, 2026 is the year that stopped working, and the numbers on deportations prove it. The island hasn't gotten more expensive across the board so much as it's gotten more legally serious, and those are two very different problems, requiring two very different solutions. One is a budgeting exercise, the other is a legal one, and confusing them is exactly how nomads end up detained, rather than merely disappointed. Compared to Dubai's zero-tax pitch or Tokyo's currency-driven affordability, Bali's real advantage isn't really about tax structure at all. It's about being one of the last places offering a genuinely legal, income-qualified path to living somewhere beautiful on a remote salary, provided you respect the exact line the law draws and don't assume the old rules still apply. If you found this useful, check out the other videos in this series where we broke down the real economics of Greece, Hawaii, Panama, Italy, New York, Dubai, and Tokyo, and subscribe if you want the rest of this series as it comes out.